Hey, Viking fans, it's the playoffs. The Vikings versus the New York Giants, and we got grandmas doing the gritty. What are we talking about? That up next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World Live, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. Your hosts, Dave and Justin. And right now we got a special guest, Grandma Gritty. Let me bring her on. Grandma's can gritty, and we have proof of it here. Welcome to the show. How about she introduce herself to our listeners?
Hi, guys. I'm so happy to be with you today. My name's Bonnie Vergoth. I'm known as Grandma Can Gritty. I live way up north in Embarrass, Minnesota, where it's so darn cold every darn day. And I actually did the gritty outside at 29 below wind chill.
Yeah,
I was pretty cold.
And I'm going to do a cut up of this, and I'm going to do a video and put this on, do a video, and I'll put a description to where you'll have your Twitter handle so they can go watch your gritty videos. Does that sound good?
Right, great.
I'll share it with you.
Great.
So
Thank you.
You were telling me you've been a Vikings fan since the beginning, since 1961. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. The first game, George Shaw was the quarterback. He wasn't doing really good, And all of a sudden, in comes a young man by the name of Francis Tarkington.
I'm not familiar with him. I'm just.
I had a crush on Fran Tarkington all my teenage years. Isn't that funny? And I've been through the ups and the downs, and hopefully this is an up year, right, boys?
No kidding.
Well, Fran's all over social media. You might be able to slip into his DMs and give him a holler.
Oh my God, I just blush, I tell you.
That's great. That's great.
I love this team. This year's team is something special. It's so wonderful to see a team like this. They're all together. It's a team, But I have to say, JJ's my favorite player. We've watched his progress since LSU when they won the national championship. And I said to my husband during the first rookie year of JJ, I said, this kid is going to be as good as, if not better, than Randy Moss.
He's definitely got a case at this point.
Well, so far you're looking pretty right on that.
Yep. I've been doing the gritty since the middle of November, before and after every game. So, hey, maybe I'm bringing them a little bit of luck this year.
That's awesome. I noticed you on Twitter, so did Justin, and you actually sent me a message, and I was like, you know what? Let's try to get her on. You are so responsive. I actually talked to you. I actually messaged you like 3 hours ago, and you were like, yeah, I'll come on. So you are so responsive. Yeah. That's awesome.
Thanks. Yesterday I had a ball ice fishing out on the lake, and I did the gritty on a frozen lake. I bet you Justin's never done that. JJ?
No, Justin has not done that. You are correct.
I have no rhythm. I have no rhythm, and I think you got me beat. I'm only 49. I'm a spring chicken, but I can't do the gritty. So you got one up on me.
Yeah, my daughter thinks that dance is. Yeah, my daughter absolutely.
Yeah.
Has seen enough of the gritty at school. She's like, I can't believe people just do that silly dance. I said, well, it's gonna still be going for a while. So you better get used to it, kid. But as I mentioned to you before,
one story.
Go ahead.
My daughter loves the gritty.
Yeah, no, not so much, but that's okay. No, she liked it at that Colts game when JJ scored. It was right down right in front of us there. She's like, "Oh well, I guess I got to watch him do that." So, but it was a good time.
How exciting! How exciting! I have one story to tell you. Last February, I got the COVID really bad, and what I do every day is sing that darn skull song, to get my oxygen levels back up where they should be. And then for exercise around the house, I did the gritty. Up and down gritty, back and forth gritty, gritty here, gritty there. But you know what? That was the only exercise I was getting. So somehow the Vikings helped me through that COVID because I came out okay, I guess.
There you go.
If someone, I have a request for you. If someone can get there was a picture. The videos I've got are kind of grainy and from far away. If someone can give me a video of you a little closer up and a little better view, we'll put it to music for you and get it back out on the internet and hopefully try to tag JJ on it. And maybe we can see if we can get some connection. So get someone to do like a really good video of you doing it, and we'll put it to music for you.
I do have them. They're on #GrittyGranny.
Okay, I got a couple. They were just a little grainy and far away, but I'll look some more, see if I can get. I'll look at your other videos too and see if we can do that for you, and we'll do a little campaign to get JJ to notice it. We'll do our best.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. We love you guys. You're all so cool, I'm getting so excited. I might have to get some medicine before the game.
Well, our channel our channel's Minnesota Sports Talk, and his is Purple and Gold for Days. So tell your share. I sent you my YouTube channel. You can share that with your friends and family so they can see you on our channel.
I will. I probably look gooky as hell, but who cares? I've got my old Viking hat. It's 25 years old. I got a JJ jersey on. I got beads. I've got gloves. I've got blankets. I've got everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, what are your predictions today?
Okay.
Let me guess.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
So what's your prediction? What's your score prediction going to be?
I'm thinking 34-27.
We'll take it.
I'll take that.
Anyway.
Go for 250 today.
Woohoo!
250.
Oh, yeah, we gotta have
another Vikings record.
He's going to break Anthony Carter's record in his playoff debut. There you go.
That's awesome.
God,
that's awesome.
Great. I got the goosebumps, you guys.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be watching the game today? In your house here?
I wish I was a mouse in the corner at that stadium.
Oh, that's.
In my house.
Are you going to have family over today and watch the game, or?
TV. No.
Hey, are you gonna?
Today, the families are all doing other stuff, and I'm here by myself and loving it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So do you get crazy when
you want to stop? No. Yes, I get crazy. Oof. Jesus Christ, I almost pissed my pants. I understand that. I don't mean to be gross, but sometimes.
No, you're fine.
Sometimes I almost lose all bodily functions. No,
just
kidding. Just kidding, boys.
You're fine. Crazier stuff has been said on the internet, so you're fine.
Some of the other contributors that we work with have said far crazier things this weekend than you have, so you're pretty good.
And I sometimes swear like a truck driver too, when I'm watching the game, but what the hell? Right?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, well, we appreciate you
gotta say,
well, we appreciate you being on our show today. We're gonna be talking about the Vikings here. If you want to check out the link I sent you and listen along, you can join the chat and everything. But I appreciate you, and I hopefully will have you on again. Okay, we got other shows we do at night during the week, and maybe we'll bring you on after a Viking win. How about that?
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
All right. Anything you want to say to the fans before you go?
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming. We appreciate you.
I love you. I love everybody.
Skull Vikings.
Kick some ass.
All right, Skull Vikings. That was Grandma Does the Gritty. Love it. I'll put a description in the I'll put your hashtag in the description. They'll make sure everybody goes and joins you. Okay.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Skull. All right. Have a good one. Thank you
so much for getting us started. We appreciate you.
All right, awesome. That was great. That was Grandma Does the Gritty. She's excited.
There's a start. Wow.
Let's go. Awesome.
We got how many people we got in the chat so far? What's up, Jade? Good to see you.
17.
What's going on?
We got 17 people watching. This is actually pretty good for us.
What's up,
thanks
Jim?
Guys for joining us. George Blunt. I don't know. Grossi's doing something gross over there. I don't know.
Who the heck knows what Grossi's doing? R-Dubs, my boy Ryan Walkos is all the way in Arizona. Thank you so much, Walkos, for joining us. Appreciate you, boss.
Bandito's doing the Remember the Titans chant, I think. Here we go. Sports and Stars with Jade. How you doing, man? Ma'am.
Wow.
Sorry about
What's
that.
Up, Jade, ma'am? How
Call
are
everybody,
you?
Man. Sorry. Hey, Jade, thanks for showing up. I suppose you're streaming today. Everybody go check out Sports and Stars with Jade. I think our boy Rap might not be doing his stream today. He got COVID, man. He's feeling really bad. Someone said someone gave him the purple drink, so he may be doing that. He still may be doing it. There's a guy that won my Chuck Foreman jersey. Let's get it done.
Congratulations. You better be wearing that today.
Good news, Raymond. Good news, Raymond. I'm renting a car tomorrow. My car is still in the shop. It's been 6 weeks, but I'm renting a car tomorrow, so I should be able to ship off your jersey. Here we go. George Blunt. So much fun trolling Tommy the Commie. He's a closet Niners fan. Let me see. Kick her out of the studio. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, Jade, we'll send everybody when we're done over to your stream since, absolutely will. So if you don't already subscribe to Sports and Stars with Jade, absolutely hit her up. She's been on our show a couple times as well. An absolute blast to chat some stuff with. Jade is going to say to the world by the end of the night, Kirk Cousins is actually pretty daggone good. That's my prediction forget about the game itself. At the end of the day, Jade is going to say that Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback and that he led us to victory today. That's my prediction.
Justin said it. I didn't. Justin said it.
I said it. I said it, and I'm sticking to it. Or something like that.
3 p.m. Yeah, so that's in 42 minutes.
Think about that. All right.
All right, Jade.
You're welcome.
What do we got here? We got this today. All right, we're caught up. Thanks everybody for showing up, man.
All right. So, what's going on, ladies? What's going on, Dave? How are we going to win this game today? What do you want to start with? Offense, defense, special teams, coaching. What do you got?
Well, I mean, should we talk about 41 Donut?
No,
I'm wearing a Culpeper jersey. I'm wearing a Culpeper jersey. I'm breaking the curse, man.
One way or the other. You either cursed us or we're breaking the curse. That's for daggone sure. Well,
hey, it's going to be they're going to play it like 3 times before the game starts, I'm sure, and talk about it. But I've already heard it 3 times a day.
Yeah,
I already watched some video talking about it today, no doubt. The Purple Daily brought it up. They brought up the 3 times we played them in the playoffs, or 1 and 2. Yeah. It's time to even it up.
No doubt.
Let's do it.
Well, let's talk real quick about last night's games, and then we'll get into ours. No surprise that San Francisco ended up winning. Seattle hung with them for a while, but fumble by Geno Smith at the end of the third quarter pretty much killed any chance that they have. What a performance!
They're going to kick a field goal. Yeah.
What a performance last night by the Jacksonville Jaguars, or what a choke job by the Los Angeles Chargers. I sent this out, and I sent it to you. The Chargers look like the Vikings of last year, and the Jaguars look like the Vikings of this year. It was unbelievable. 27-0. My daughter just asked me, hey, did the Chargers end up winning? I said, no, Jacksonville came back and won. And she's like, They came back from down 27-0. That's almost as many as when we were watching the Colts game and they came back. I said, yeah, pretty
dude,
much.
I like texted you, said yeah, I guess we were all wrong about the Jags. And then it was like 5 minutes ago in the game, I checked it out and I was like, I guess we were all right about the Jags.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, Trevor Lawrence with the ultimate Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, 4 interceptions in the first half, 3 touchdowns in the second. It's unbelievable performance by Football Fabio. So the Jags moving on. But yeah, I guess we get into this, well, let's start with this. I said it in my preview. Last night's game was 2 first-time quarterbacks. Today's 2 first-time head coaches. Both coaches have elevated their teams. Both coaches in the running for coaching of the year. You got Dable, you got Kevin O'Connell. Ultimately, I have been saying that I would give the slight edge to Dable just on the coaching job. But today I'll give the slight edge to O'Connell because we are playing at home. It was just a couple of weeks ago, so we'll have some game film. As they will too there. But what do you think about the coaching matchup, Dave? I'll start with that one there for you.
Well, I mean, I think Daboll has put a good game plan for his team like pretty much all year round. I just don't think he's got, you're as good as your players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we got the players that they don't have, more weapons than just one guy on offense, and the quarterback can run too, but the receivers aren't all there, No. So you're as good as your players. And this defensive coordinator, Martindale, keeps talking about how he's got this playoff defense, and he's like ranked 26th in the league. So their defense has struggled just as much as ours has all year. So I think coaching aspect, I think because of the players what we have, we got a little edge there because he can do so much more.
Right.
Daboll's a good coach, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I was one of the guys that I wanted, but I knew he wasn't coming to us. Hey, thanks for the $2, Juked.
Hey,
I'm gonna go get half a beer for that tonight. Let's do it. You're paying for my drinking. All right. But yeah, I'd say the edge goes to us because you're as good as your players, and the fact that we already beat you once. So, and you threw the kitchen sink at us, man. You threw the kitchen sink at us to try to win that game on the road and at the bank. So I feel like we got more tape on you than you got on us because I don't think we threw shit at them on defense.
No,
in that game. So we could surprise the hell out of them. I think that gives us the edge.
What's up to GG Sports Podcast? Thanks again for joining us, guys. We very much appreciate you. If you don't already subscribe to the GG Sports Podcast, they are part of the Purple Coal family, so hit them up as well if you don't already subscribe to those guys. No, I definitely agree that Juke gave you another one for the full beer, so now you're up to a full beer.
I got a full beer, man. I got a full beer. Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks, Juke. Thanks, Juke.
But no, with that being said, I think what's up, Brian's Horner? What's up, Brian's Horror? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. I think you're right though. And one of the things that I said the other night was, I think once we had this division clinched, we haven't seen as much creativity from a play calling standpoint, particularly in the red zone from O'Connell. And I think hopefully it's because he's held some things back and not that we've been that far out of sync. So no, I agree. I think this is the time. And I said this with SK last night. If this is not the time you unleash everything, offense, defense, the whole shebang, then what the heck are you waiting for? So, no, I agree with you. I think that the slight edge today would go to O'Connell because, again, it doesn't matter what you've done in the 17 games. What all that matters at this point is today. I mean, it's one and done. When you go home, say all the cliches you want. What's up, Jim? Jim's got a 6. Everybody put in your comments here, what jersey are you wearing? Because I know we all wearing jerseys. Jim's right off the gate he's got his Jared Allen number 69. I got my JJ18. And Dave's got his 11 Culpepper. But no, I think O'Connell would have the slight edge here. Defensively, you mentioned it a moment ago that we maybe didn't show as much on the defenses that we had before. And there's been all kinds of talk this week about, well, we're going to let the players have more control. And, if they see something that I didn't see on my call, I mean, again, I don't know why you wait until this point in the season to start doing that. But what are your thoughts on what's been said as far as what the defense is going to do here today?
So, you bring up a point like, have we held anything? You know what I feel like is that O'Connell hasn't forced anything. There was a game earlier in the year where he says we were waiting for that situation. We were waiting for that situation, and we called it. and it was a touchdown. There was occasions when that's happened, and I think he doesn't try to force plays. He waits for the situation, and then the play is called. So I don't ever think it's anything of Kevin O'Connell holding anything back. I think he's just waiting for the situation. Now, could he bring out that that throwback pass to JJ to Dalvin thing again? Could he do a play like that? Yeah, I think he's got those in his holster. And yeah, he didn't want to waste them in the regular season. And sure enough, now we're 13-4. He got there without him, right? He got without all these surprise plays. Now he can do the halfback jump pass and throw that out the window, please.
Let's never do that one
again. But let's never do that again and throw some of these tight end screens away. But hey, I know you got a lot more in your belt, and you'd be able to share it. Now, as far as defensive goes, there's nothing there's so much. It's the opposite. There's so much we can do more than what we have been doing. But hey, there were signs of light, even though we went against two kind of mediocre defenses, Green Bay and the Bears. We only gave up like 600 yards between them. So, hey, there's a lot to be said about how our defense played these last two games too.
Well, it was good to see that. I'm sorry, I missed it. I was typing up. So what do we got? Oh yeah, okay.
69 on sweet.
It was nice to see. There was part of me that was glad that Zadarius Smith didn't play against Chicago. I know he was only like a sack or two away from some incentives, but I think that extra week off is going to do worlds of wonders and pay big dividends today for Zadarius Smith. And that's what you need to do against this Giants team. You need to take away Saquon Barkley and make their quarterback beat you. Keep the rush lanes contained, though, because, again, Daniel Jones has every bit the scrambling capacity as, Rodgers in his prime or, guys like Josh Allen who have continuously given us fits. But having Zadarius Smith back at 100% supposedly since that knee contusion that was suffered back in, I believe, the Buffalo game. So that's how far back that one goes. And frankly, you can tell in the stats, he only had a half sack for the rest of the year post-Buffalo. I think that's the biggest thing on defense, along with the return of Harrison Smith. Obviously, again, we're talking big name guys here, but as Jerry Burns once said, your big knockers got to knock. And this is the time. Obviously, you're hoping for some key contributions from guys like maybe Brian Asamoah, a little bit more from Duke Shelley, but your main guys have got to deliver. So today, get after Saquon Barkley, shut him down, and let Daniel Jones beat you. If Daniel Jones throws for 450 yards because he's getting a lot of yardage in garbage time because he's constantly from behind, you can live with that. What you can't live with is Daniel Jones throwing for 350 yards and Saquon Barkley rushing for 150 yards on top of that. So my opinion, just throw the kitchen sink at Saquon and let Daniel Jones beat you because he's got no wide receivers to throw to. We've talked about that. So that would be where I'm looking to go at this point here defensively. So I'm looking for a big game from Zadarius Smith.
And they played pretty conservative with Daniel Jones all year. I mean, we left all those receivers wide ass open, but they had drops in that game that cost them. We might not have won that game without some of those drops. So that's unfortunate to look back and say, hey, this is a team that could have beat us, and it came down to that wire like it. But in the beginning of that game, we looked like we were going to take over, and we're just going to keep rolling. But again, we didn't do that. We let them back in the game. They tie the game. They go ahead. We win, or we go ahead. They give them a 50-second drive. Saquon gets his one big run in the entire game, and now he's got 80 some yards instead of like 60, and it looks like we held him the whole game. Right now, one of the things that we probably might expect more is more like dialed up runs for the quarterback that he had done all year long that he didn't do against us. I guess there was 4 runs and they're all scrambles by him. So so looking at that, they can bring something different to us too. Maybe we were prepared for that because, like you said, stay in your rushing lanes. I think we did that. And we had that strategy like the first game of the year against Aaron Rodgers, and he didn't run, right? And then
not much.
Daniel Jones, same deal, didn't run against us. Maybe that's the same thing. We might see that again. But to bring in that extra pressure or disguise the pressure to make him freak out, because one of the things it does do is it doesn't just screw up the quarterback, it screws up the receivers. What do I do in this situation? Oh, they're the corner blitz. What do I do when that happens? Or that altering your route, or hey, what's the hot route on this play? If this happens, it throws off, it throws people off of their regular schedule, and not just the quarterback, but the inexperienced receivers that like to drop balls. So that helps out a lot. And we didn't get after Daniel Jones like that in the last game.
No, I mean, they got to him a handful of times. I believe Danielle Hunter had a couple. I think they got to him a total of 3 times, and they did hit him quite a few. But this is his first playoff game, like we talked about, and this is U.S. Bank Stadium. And for this knucklehead center of theirs to say that it wasn't all that very loud, I hope Kevin O'Connell, in addition to that comment, as well as all the entire media saying about how this is a perfect match. Did you see what Rex Ryan said this morning, by the way, on ESPN?
I did hear a lot what he said, but you say what specifically he said.
So specifically, he said something to the effect of, this is a perfect matchup for the Giants. They could not have hoped for a better opponent in the first round, and that they should just hammer the right side of the Vikings offensive line. And there's some truth to that. But what he said is that he predicted a double-digit win for the Giants on the road today, and that he would be surprised if the Vikings won at all. Listen, I don't have an issue with somebody saying, hey, I think the Giants are going to win this game. There's nothing wrong with that. But to say that the Giants should dominate this game and they should blow out the Vikings, and that that this was a perfect matchup for you. Okay, O'Connell, put that up in the locker room on the way out here. Put up there that their center said that our stadium was quiet, and let's just go out there, give the fans something to blow up about, and stay loud for the entire game. That's my thought on that. But, again, the Vikings will never get any respect in the media. The Vikings will never be taken seriously. They could win the Super Bowl, and they would still find a way to not give us a whole lot of credit. But, Rex Ryan doubled down on it. He basically, like I said, he said they're going to win, and they're going to win big, that the Giants, that is. So
we got a special guest.
Who do we got?
Sometimes he goes by the name Bob, but and some people call him Casey. But I know he's one half of the GG Sports podcast. Boy. Bring on Jamie.
What's up, Jamie?
Can you one up Gritty Granny? Can you one up Gritty Granny for us?
What's that? Can I one up?
Yeah, can you one up the Granny does the Gritty?
I don't know, man. I don't really have the Gritty down. I don't think I haven't practicing. That was for Casey to practice.
Yeah, we got to get him to do it, man.
Yeah.
All right, so take over. Take over. I'm gonna take a break now.
All right, that's good. All right, yeah, we'll just hold this down. Yeah. Right. In all seriousness, how you feeling today, boss? What are you thinking?
Feeling good. I'm feeling like a win. I think all this, I don't know, man. All this media hate this week.
Oh, so much. Have you felt the hate?
Yeah, you feel the hate, and you just now you're just like, for some reason, you just feel like this team is gonna light a fire under our ass, and we're going to step up, and I think we're gonna have a big game. I don't know.
Now think about this.
Year.
We can reenact 87 next week too, and then that is some momentum there too, man. I wanna see the 87 matchup against us in San Fran and see if we can throw the upset and shock the world again. So let's get past these Giants, man.
I mean,
I want it bad.
Keep sleeping on us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think even the San Francisco game, I don't know. Actually, yesterday was probably the first time I really watched Brock Purdy, and he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
I think Brock Purdy's just and again, every quarterback has some level of being whatever system that they're in. But
of course, yeah.
Shanahan just schemes the heck out of his wide receivers to get open. I mean, there's guys wide open down there, and it's just like, okay, how good of a quarterback do you really need to be able to make those kinds of reads? I mean, SK pointed this out last night. There were some opportunities for the Seahawks to get some early interceptions, and one could have easily been a pick six.
Yes.
And I'm not taking away from his performance, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, okay, yeah, you got guys running wide open because they've been schemed to, and, he's putting it on them, so you got to give him that. But I think he can be gotten to. But having said all that, I don't know about this, but we'll talk more about that after we get this victory here today. What's up, Vikings Jerome? Thanks for joining us.
I've never seen so many people chatting in our chat in my freaking life, and I appreciate it, guys. Make sure you hit like, keep the chats going, give us your score predictions in the chat. I want to hear what you think. I've already heard everybody what they're wearing, so keep that up too.
Yeah, if you just
what you wearing today? What do you got on?
What jersey you got?
What do you got on, Jamie?
Back on me. Oh, this is a shirt. A lot of people seem to like it. I have no idea where I got it from. There's only like one sweatshirt like this that
he's confused today. He doesn't know who to root for.
Yeah,
he's got 4 guys.
All Viking, all Minnesota,
Minnesota
teams,
teams.
but
Yeah,
it's
there you go.
you know it all usually ends the
I
same.
use a
but
similar
hopefully
logo
not
for
the
my
Vikings
Twitter
this year.
handle, so
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, boys, I don't know. I think, what do you guys feeling? I mean, do you guys think this should be a game that we definitely should win? I know, like, a little bit before I got on, I know Dave was talking about how like, if your team is as good as your players, I don't think anybody's questioning, as far as just players go, we have better players than the Giants. So I don't even, like, even the media and all of them, like, I don't know how they could look at both these teams and be like, all right, we like the Giants players better. So just from just what Dave said about that, I just think there's no way we don't come in here and get this victory, or at least we should definitely get this victory here. I don't know.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, again, what I find hilarious is they want to talk about, well, the Vikings were 11-0 in one possession games, and that makes them frauds.
Right.
Okay, the Giants, I think, had the second most one-score wins. I think they were 8-3-1 if we take out the meaningless game that was Week 18. Okay, we want to talk about the Vikings point differential because they're a 13-win team that has a negative point differential. The Giants got a negative 6-point differential as well. So what I don't understand, well, I do understand why. It's the East Coast bias, and we get that. But you're going to talk about one team and its flaws and one team and how they got to where they are, but you're not talking about the other team. The Giants, I think, have won one game since the middle of November, but all of a sudden the Giants are coming in hot because they lost a close game to us. I just don't understand it. But no, the Vikings are the better team, but again, the better team doesn't always win. You know, my daughter was asking me, okay, so tell me about all these other teams in the playoffs. Well, who should win and who shouldn't win? Well, so should the Vikings? Well, the Vikings beat the Giants, so they should win tomorrow. I'm like, well, yeah, they're a better team, but it's one game, and that's why they play the game. So
yeah, the Giants are 3-6-1 in the last 10 games.
Yeah, 3-6-1, but they're hot.
But they're hot.
Yeah,
they're gonna get us.
I don't know. They're just against us, man. Whatever. That's why I think we got this.
The thing I go back to is that the last time we played, we were out there controlling that game. I felt like you were gonna trounce them, halfway through the second period, and I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. And it just Vikings started doing the Viking thing, and that third quarter as usual, and so hopefully we can put up. And I felt like it was a really good idea to have our starters play that whole half, man. It's turning out to be the right thing that we did.
Definitely.
And we got it going. We had some mistakes there. But we recognized them, and we talked about them after the game. But we still had, what were we winning by going into the half? 13-3, 16-3, something like that.
Something like that. It was pretty much like as far as going in the half, it was like one of our best halves.
We played a really good half. We just didn't punch in the end zone,
which is really good to kind of bring in that momentum going to playoffs after that Packers game. So that's
we had 480 yards offense in that game.
Right.
Now it's the Bears JV squad. Let's keep that in mind too. But at the same time, better to do what they did against the Bears JV squad than to struggle against the Bears JV squad. But to your point, Dave, earlier about the first Giants game, they were up 10-0, and it was just like, okay, this is our opportunity to put some separation between us and them. And then, of course, the defense gives up a touchdown, and it's now 10-7, and then we're back into being into a dogfight there. So if you get up 10-14 on this team today, you need to step on their throats. You need to stomp them out. You need to squash them, and you need to not be in another one of these close emotional games. Again, I know they're not going to be looking ahead to next week, but as fans, we can. This is a game where you need to take care of business. You need to win comfortably. You need to play your game so that you're not coming down to an emotional, because we already know how this Vikings organization is all throughout the years of him. They came off an emotionally high and an incredible win about how they happen to not really show up the next week. So that being said, we can't have any of that today. It's got to be full throttle. It's got to be start to finish, execute all the way around and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, reach the potential that we thought this whole season that our team had. And we haven't really seen it throughout an entire game, but that's kind of what needs to happen in a playoff game. And especially if you want to go further in the playoffs, especially if we have to go play, we're going to go play 49ers if we win this game.
George Blunt's been talking about the 1987 game. And yeah, you're right. Wade Wilson and Anthony Carter were awesome. This is one of his comments. But yeah, Anthony Carter had probably one of the best playoff games you'll ever see.
That was utter
ever.
insanity.
It was just insane. We actually, if you ever have a chance, go look at our Greg Coleman video.
Yes.
We talked about that 87 game. Go look in my live tab, the tab for lives on my videos, and go check out the Greg Coleman video. You'll absolutely love it, man. It's one of the best things you'll ever watch. That's a shameless plug for me. There we go.
Yes.
Go ahead.
In fact, here's what you do. You go to Dave's channel, you watch all of them, and then you go back to mine and watch them again because that's how good Greg Coleman was. But jokes aside, Mick Andrews, thanks for...
You sneak on GG Sports Podcast.
Yes, and then after that, if you haven't had enough...
GG's after that, go to GG Sports Podcast. And make sure you subscribe. Like, let me take this off so everybody can see our channels. You didn't even put yours on, man. You got Purple and Gold for Days, Minnesota Sports Talk, and GG Sports Podcast.
I just I wasn't sure if I was going to pop in or not. And then I was like, no.
I know. I forced you to, man.
Yeah, I know you sent it at the link at the right time.
Well, when you chatted, I'm like, I'm sending them a link. There we go.
Heck yeah, man. I'm excited. Playoff football. We already had one upset yesterday with the Jacksonville. That was a pretty crazy game.
Was that really an upset, though? I mean, they were two pretty even last.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's obviously after the comeback would be back would be an upset. That was a pretty close one. I was going towards the Chargers, but that's crazy. Trevor Lawrence, 4 interceptions at halftime, comes back and wins that one. And the last time I checked, the Miami was up against the Bills, which that would definitely be an upset.
Yeah, Miami is up 24-20 midway through the third. The Buffalo just got an interception, and they're at the Miami 20-yard line.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was funny. I came down here, and it was 17-3, so I was starting to get set up here. Next thing I know, it's 17 all at halftime or something like that. I'm like, what in the world what just happened?
24-20 Miami.
Yeah.
20. Yeah, and then on the Josh Allen fumbled on the first play. I think it was their first drive in the third. Fumbled it, scooped up, touchdown.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how the third started for them. It was, and then I think right before half, I think Miami got an interception, I believe. Okay. So yeah, it's a pretty good game. I mean,
it's funny. I was walking down and Buffalo had just scored, and then they took the touchdown off the board because it hit the ground, and then all of a sudden Miami's tied this game up. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't give Miami much of a shot. When we got
Buffalo. Buffalo went 39 yards and 54 yards on 6 plays to kick a 39-yard field goal at the half.
All right, there you go.
To make it 20-17 them. So I was
they almost
crazy.
Stephon Diggs, dude. It was whatever 30 seconds left. Stephon Diggs, I think they're 20 yards out. Wherever they kicked the field goal, he had like a super nice one-handed catch and got both feet in, but they called it like he didn't have full control of the ball. It would have been an insane catch.
Okay. What's up, Paul? Thanks for joining us. Bandino's got a very good point up there. Chargers had some heartbreaking exits. Yeah, they are the AFC version of the Vikings. That's for daggone sure.
I like Herbert too. So
he's
bad for him a little bit.
George, send me a picture of this, man. Send me a picture of this. MN Sports Podcast at gmail.com. All right, MN Sports Podcast at gmail.com. Send us a picture of that. Oh wow, yeah, I don't know.
Miami, I don't know. The Buffalo's got the ball in there too.
Yeah, I don't care how much time's left. If there's a minute left and Buffalo has the ball, you never know what's gonna happen. But
getting back to our there was one more. What's up with Rap Dave? So just to confirm, Dave, he said he's got the vid. Is that right?
He's got the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, tested positive. It's funny. He sent me a picture of the tester. I said, "Congratulations on the baby."
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, that's a COVID test."
Yeah. No, that's thoughts and rest up and get healthy, Rap. We love you, boss.
I feel better, man.
Offensively, the biggest key of this game, of course, is going to be the Vikings' offensive line against the Giants' defensive line. We can talk about the wide receivers and pass catchers against their secondary, but we all know that the best way to shut down Justin Jefferson is straight up to just get to Kirk Cousins here. Having to do a little shuffling of the deck with the offensive line. We get Garrett Bradbury back, so that is good. Oli Udoh has been solid, I will say. I'm not going to say he's been spectacular, and there's no way he's going to live up to the billing that is Brian O'Neill, but thoughts on what this offensive line is going to be able to do with all of the shuffling of the deck chairs, so to speak? I'll start with you, Jamie. What's up with that?
It's really nice that we got Bradbury back. That's huge to have someone who knows the offense and stuff, not a new body in there, especially that will know this the snap count and not get false starts and all that stuff. So that's going to be huge. I think him coming back, which is crazy to say because before the season, I was definitely on board for him, like to be out the door.
Weren't
And
we
he's
all?
end up, yeah, every single one of us probably was. And so it's cool to see him at the end of the season, how bad we actually need him. We did see a lot of Udo. Is Udo for sure getting the start on that right side?
That was my understanding.
Yeah, that's what
I
I was
haven't read anything else. I know that they activated Blake Randall, but I don't think he's going to start.
Well, that was one of the things we were talking about, how that we had this, and in fact, we had a guest on talking that does a show with Brian McKinney, and Brian McKinney was always pissed off that they would switch guys around when Zimmer was the head coach. But now we got like Brandle's the backup left tackle, Oli was the backup right tackle, and that they had like designated positions. So hopefully that's the case, is that, hey, because Oli would have played good. He's got like a 73 PFF grade compared to Brian O'Neill's 83. I mean, it's, that's good, and he obviously played good the last 2 games. So I don't see why he can't play good a third game.
Yeah,
being that he's finally back at his God-given position.
Yeah, so we can just hope that, the interiors specifically, I think, well, with Garrett Bradbury back, it's not as a concern as it was, but can hold up against that defensive front by the Giants. I mean, I'm going to always hope that they do, but you never know. I do think that is for sure the Achilles heel in this game and is going to be the key matchup for us to win this. But still, I mean, even besides that, I don't know, man. I mean, we still do have Justin Jefferson against our secondary and Hawkinson, who went crazy last time against them. And, we also, we only have to really worry about Saquon Barkley, I feel like, as far as our defense on their offense. Obviously, you have to worry about Jones and his running ability and stuff like that. But I don't know. He's not like a Lamar Jackson or even a Josh Allen. So I'm not like too concerned about that. But it's mostly stopping the run, I guess, overall, because I just don't. Even though the last time we played Daniel Jones, he lit us up pretty good, but that is out of his character. And I don't know. I just hope that with all this media talk, everything with playoffs, our team and specifically our defense comes in with just a new energy, playoff energy, and we get to see that. And we do have a good whole game, a game that we know as far as talent goes, we should have, and hopefully give us just that excitement to continue going on through playoffs. I want to keep it going. I'm not ready to stop this season of our podcast and stuff,
It's not.
Hey, George,
George
Blunt, I just sent a link to Rap. Hopefully he'll join. I don't know. He said he wasn't up to it today. I talked to him earlier, but we'll see if I guilted him into joining like I did.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get 15 minutes out of him. But no, I don't blame him if he's not feeling good. To do a whole.
He says he got the purple drink.
Yeah.
So.
He's had too many of them. That's what you get for talking about certain items of clothing that he had for the last 2 days. But having said all that,
let me quote Rap. Tell him you talk to me and I'm gonna survive. Skull side or no side.
There you go. That sounds like Rap. Offensively, for me, again, we've kind of beat this a little bit, but I still say I'm not saying that Dalvin Cook should be replaced as the number 1 running back, but there needs to be a little bit more of a balance between him and Alexander Mattison, particularly in the red zone. I think Alexander Mattison should be the goal line back at this point. And if you're going to run Dalvin Cook at the goal line, then run some toss sweeps to him. Don't sit there and try to run him up the A gap or the B gap there. He's just not that kind of back anymore. We saw the kind of success, albeit again against the depleted Bears last week with Alexander Mattison at the goal line there. Talk to me, Gigi, about what do you think? Should Alexander Mattison be the goal line back at this point? Should he be the Leroy Horde?
I'm going to go on a limb here, and I think we should make CJ Ham the goal line back.
That ain't bad.
Give him some more opportunities.
There was a time about 3 years ago that like you gave it to CJ, he was going to get a first down. It seemed like it.
He's at least like if it's really close, I think you can give it to CJ. But no, I do think there's at this point it does really see that Madison is definitely the better running back for these short yardage spots, like right up the gut. And I still believe Dalvin Cook. Obviously, I still think he's a fantastic running back, and we've seen it this year. He has that game breaking ability, and hopefully we see that in this game. But that's another good point. I think in this offense, this could end up really being a big Dalvin Cook run game. We didn't see it as much last time. We didn't run a lot last time against the Giants, but the Giants do not have a really good rushing defense either. I think PFF have them at like a like a 50 grade for their rush defense. The same with their pass defense. So, I mean, there's a chance that Delvin Cook could really have himself a big game in this too. And he could be kind of that sneaky X factor. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just so much we have compared to them, especially on offense. And hopefully we just see it all work together. But what you said, again, it all starts with protecting Kirk Cousins and the run blocking too. And hopefully we can do that against this Giants defensive line that's definitely stepped up. Thibodeau has really taken a big step towards the end of this year. So hopefully we can hold him well, I think. But
so Chris Thomason just tweeted that there's going to be some known Viking luminaries at the game today. Adrian Peterson, John Randall, Randall McDaniel, Carl Eller, Paul Krause, Chuck Foreman, and Jim Kleinsaw. So did Paul or Chuck tell you that they were going to be at the game, Dave? This is the first time hearing about it.
I mean, we're not buddies or anything, so we're not.
I thought you had
we're not Twitter. We're not texting back and forth like junior high girls.
No, it'd be good to see. It'd be good to see a victory today with some of the.
I don't go.
I was kidding, Dave.
I'm like, I'm not gonna overuse that.
You'll let it go. Yeah, it'll come to you.
But hey, if someone were asking where they could send pictures, mnsportspodcast@gmail.com. I'll try to make you famous if you send me some crazy Vikings pictures.
There you go. And if anybody is in our chat right now that is going to go to the game, make it loud and yell proud, and your voice better be hoarse by the time the game is over. But circling back, let's talk. We were talking about the offensive line a moment ago here. Kirk Cousins has been a lot better this season under pressure and against the blitz than he had been in previous years, particularly in the game against the Giants earlier this season. I think he had like 120-plus quarterback rating, and two of his 3 touchdown passes came in the Giants blitz, as well as that massive third down completion to Justin Jefferson on the game-winning field goal drive. Do we think that the Giants are going to stick to what they do and continue to throw the kitchen sink at the Vikings? Do you think they're going to be a little bit more judicious about it? Do we think that they're going to be blitzing at us a little bit more with the deck shuffled on the offensive line? Dave, I'll throw that one to you first.
They're going to do that. They already said that they've said that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to trick us or something, but yeah, they're just going to come after us again. It's the whole kitchen sink is the same deal. That's all. I mean, that's kind of the way we were last year is we manufactured pressure all year, and we were top 2 in sacks last year, but nobody had more than 7. That's how crazy it was. And, Daniil Hunter led the team with 6 all the way up until like the last 2 games, and he wasn't even playing. Right. So, I mean, everybody was getting sacks last year, and that's what the Giants do, man. That's the way I feel. They're just going to keep after Kirk Cousins. He's, I'll bring up a stat a little in here in a little bit to show you how much pressure he gets on the year. But I want to. Raymond had this get Naylor more touches. Do you guys feel like it's too late in the year to start meddling with what we have, or is it one of those situations where, well, hell, we gave Rager some touches and see what he did in the middle of the season that worked for a little bit, and then he had the Colts game, and then he dropped behind Naylor in the depth chart. Can we put Naylor in those situations? He looks like he can handle it. I think.
Well, to quote Ted Glover, Naylor, I hardly know her, but jokes aside, no, I don't think that would be the worst thing, because you can't just bring in what you've always done, because that's what's on film and that's what they're prepared for. There's a fine line between, adding a couple wrinkles here and there and showing them a play or two, or getting another player a few touches here or there, versus completely changing up your entire scheme. So I think that there's room to get Naylor a few touches here or there. Maybe run one of those fake bubble screens where you've got 3 wide receivers on one side, and you're going out there looking like you're about to hit the quick hitter with the other 2 blocking, and one of those other 2 starts like they're blocking and then just takes off. I wouldn't mind seeing Naylor being one of those types of plays to him streaking down the sidelines, because at the end of the day, the Vikings have run that wide receiver bubble screen enough times to where you can run one of those fakes and send a guy deep, and it'll be a big shock to the defense there. So no, I think you can throw in some few wrinkles without it being completely changing up the whole scheme. And frankly, at this point, it's all hands on deck at this point.
So here's the stats on Kirk Cousins. He's sacked 46 times, that's 3rd overall. Knocked down 84 times. The next closest is like 70. He's 1st there. Hurried 35. I'm not sure how that plays into being knocked down and throwing the ball and hurry. I don't know. But blitzed 154 times. Now, considering that people blitz the F out of him, and he is, let me get that stat up. 5th in yards, 4th in TDs, and our offense is 7th in the league. Do you think they're doing the wrong thing against us?
Well, I think it's kind of playing with fire. I mean, if you can get to Kirk Cousins, that's the easiest way to shut down Justin Jefferson and company, like we talked about earlier. But it's one of those live by the dog, die by the dog. Live by the blitz, die by the blitz. I mean, at some point,
if I haven't heard live by the dog, die by the dog before, but I'll use it now.
Yeah, that was a Mike Tyson playing on the expression. He used to say that with Dan Barrera on his weekly show back when he was coach.
But, that's funny.
That being said, at some point, though, if the Giants don't blitz and Kirk Cousins picks them apart, well, then they're dying a slow death. You run the blitz, you take a chance of dying a quicker death or surviving. So I think at the end of it, he's going to probably do what he does because that's what coaches ultimately are. They're creatures of habit. So I think they are. Now, whether they do it to the level that they did before, whether they increase it or keep it the same, that's a different conversation. But I can't see them not staying true to themselves, just like any other coach would. So I think they're going to blitz them. And again, you got to be strategic about it. You got to be judicious about it because, like I said, if you bring pressure against Kirk Cousins and the offensive line gives him just enough time, he will pick you apart every bit as much as the rest of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL.
And not just that, but just so if you're just looking at straight matchups in this game, I feel like that might be the only one. It's definitely like by a wide margin, at least, the only matchup that they might have on us is our offensive line versus their defensive line. So I think if they do not go with that game plan, they go away from that. I just think that they don't really have a chance. I think that's what gives them their best chance to win is if they do that. So if I'm them, like that might be your only choice and you got to do it. So hopefully from the other side, for us, hopefully, we're well aware of that and hopefully we stack that line with extra tight end or whatever we've got to do to take care of that. So,
and I don't think we helped out Oliudo that much. I don't think we did. I mean, I didn't go look at the game too, but just paying attention during the game, I just felt like we actually, and these are two different teams and two teams that didn't blitz us like crazy, like the Giants is. So this may be, game planned in where we have to, I like the fact that if we chip block a running back and then put him out into a route, I think that's good. I think we got more screen passes dialed up this game. KJ Osborne in the slot, doing a quick hitch or something like that. And I look at his stats. These are almost identical to last year's. The only difference is probably yard per catch, and then he has 2 less touchdowns. So, and I think he struggled being an outside receiver. That I think this is maybe his cap. This may be his thing. But when he gets open, he's hard to bring down. He fights for those extra yards. I like him on jet sweeps if we can do it. I like him and I like him in that third receiver position. We also have this guy, and we can talk more about him, but this has been an outstanding year, and that's TJ Hawkinson. Look at his numbers with us for the entire season. 914 yards as a tight end.
And then
the entire year.
I mentioned this when we had Dustin on our podcast. It's just the underrated thing about this trade is that Kirk Cousins trust for TJ Hawkinson. Before that trade, it kind of feels like Kirk Cousins had most of his trust in JJ and maybe not as much in Thielen and KJ at this point. But TJ Hawkinson came in, and obviously the first game, he had what, like 8 catches or something,
70. He would have had. He had 2 of those tight end screens.
The tight end screens that game.
He had 3 tight end screens. Otherwise, you had 80 yards.
Right, but still, just knowing that Kirk has another guy that he has faith in and getting the ball to, I think that's huge with TJ Hawkinson. I think that was something we were missing big time up until we made that trade. And going into playoffs, obviously, I mean, it makes it feel a lot better knowing that we have another guy that we can throw the ball to other than Justin Jefferson, as far as just from a confidence standpoint.
And now we got someone else to think about with Irv Smith Jr. on the, possibly in a two tight end formation.
Right,
And I always bring up Hernandez and Gronk, not that they're at the same talent level, but TJ Hawkinson might be a little bit up there.
Right.
Irv Smith Jr. is not a Aaron Hernandez, and hopefully he doesn't end up like Aaron Hernandez. That was that thing. You had that 6 foot speedy receiver, and you got this big lumbering can't handle him type tight end.
Yep.
And he came, even though he wasn't playing at the same time, which we found out in one of our last shows. He still was under Belichick as a backup, a backup quarterback, and has followed his career. And when we did play the Patriots, there was a scene. He was mic'd up for that game, and before the game, he says, what I said was true, man. I owe a lot. I owe a lot to you and where I am today based on what you taught me for the little time I was there. So, I mean, I know that's in his head somewhere, that he's got that somewhere that he could utilize that with these two tight ends. And it's a wrinkle we can bring into the playoffs. That's the way I looked at it.
Well, and I said that the other day, is the Giants are like the 5th worst team against the tight end. Now, part of it we already saw with TJ Hawkinson going for over 102. Right. I'm not looking for Irv Smith to have, 8 catches for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. But what I am looking for is that if they're going to focus on JJ and TJ, and as well as to try to continue, Irv Smith could be that wrinkle we were talking about a few moments ago, particularly against a team that already has problems guarding tight ends. That I'm not looking for, big stats or big numbers, but I'm looking for like 2 or 3 catches for first downs, maybe a touchdown in the red zone when they're focusing on Thielen and JJ and TJ. I'm just looking for Irv Smith to make an impact. Again, it doesn't have to be like over the top, blow the doors off the water, but give me something. That's the reason they traded for TJ was they said that, hey, we didn't just trade for TJ Hawkinson because Irv Smith got hurt. We wanted to have this guy on our team to be able to utilize both of them. Well, as we said, now's the time. Thanks, George. Right on cue. Appreciate it. But in all seriousness, no. I think Irv Smith should be, watched out for because, like I said, they're already terrible. Man. Yeah, they're already terrible against the tight ends. We already have a top 5 tight end at worst. And you know what? Throw a second one at him and see what happens.
If you have 2 tight ends and then you have, JJ in there and, and you got Dalvin Cook and who you're worrying about. You're not worrying about Irv Smith Jr.
Exactly.
It's And he can play, and he showed us he could play until he kept on getting hurt.
Well, he has tons of talent. I would say he didn't really live up to expectation. I thought he was going to have a huge year coming into this, but he did come off that injury. He didn't get a lot of time playing up until that point, and we know that. Like the thing about Irv Smith is he has like an incredible yards after catch ability. And that's something that we could use. I mean, we've been using it a little bit with KJ lately, but getting the ball in a guy's hand, a guy that is as big as Irv Smith and can get some yards after the catch could be huge for us going forward. So I think that's like the way we should use him moving forward here, especially even though Hawkinson does pretty well, but obviously he's not as athletic as Irv Smith. So, I mean, there's still untapped potential in Irv Smith. I for sure don't think we've seen the best out of him. And maybe we will see a little bit of that going into this playoffs.
Let me say something on this Miami game.
Yeah.
What's going on here? I haven't looked at it.
It's 34-24, but
34-24.
Buffalo has 386 yards offense. Miami has 137. They should not be anywhere near in this game.
Yeah, Buffalo's going to take it now. Who scored for them? Josh Allen.
Miami's driving. Miami's driving midfield. It's only the third quarter, so
yeah. There's less than a minute left in the third, so there's still plenty of time.
They got a chance.
Well, they picked off Josh Allen twice. I think that might be part of it. Is that
and that fumble?
White's got 2 picks too. White's got 2 picks too. So or Skylar Thomas. Why did I say White? I'm got the wrong team. Skylar Thompson.
Thinking of the Jets. Yeah,
it's Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, Buffalo's turned over the ball 3 times, so I guess that's part of the reason why. I mean, Stephon Diggs has got 7 for 114. Gabe Davis has got 6 for 113. Yeah, Miami's only. How are they only down 10? That's a very, very good point.
Well, hopefully.
That fumble was very unlucky for
my buddy says all we have to do is Miami fan. All we have to do is beat like America's team because it was the player got hurt and everybody rallying around the Buffalo Bills. And then all we got to do is go to Kansas City and beat the best team in the league. And after that All we have to do is beat Cincinnati.
And then you have to beat the real best team in the league after that, Vikings.
Right. Yeah, and then we got to go play the Vikings in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
That's the antithesis too. Well, what's the Vikings? Well, we're going to get disrespected against the Giants. And after we beat the Giants, they'll get no more respect because then they'll finally admit the Giants were frauds. And then we'll go to San Francisco and win. And they'll say, well, San Francisco was really just smoke and mirrors with a, Mr. Irrelevant quarterback. And then we'll go to Philly and say, well, Jalen Hurts was injured and he wasn't 100%. And then we'll go to the Super Bowl and face the Miami Dolphins. So there you go.
But, hey, thanks Ryan for
hopefully we get some respect.
Thanks Ryan for joining the show. Thanks for being a Vikings fan. For all you guys who are listening to us for the first time, make sure you go. Gosh, I don't have her. Let me bring this up.
Take the comment out.
Yeah. So make sure you go to Purple and Gold for Days. This is Minnesota Sports Talk. Make sure you subscribe, like, and that helps push the content and let us beat the YouTube algorithm.
Yes.
Jamie G here forgot to put his channel, GG Sports Podcast.
Jamie, just click on your name and you can just click on your name and you can edit. Yeah, just click on your name and you can edit it. Or maybe Dave has to.
I don't know.
Let's see. I'll see if I can.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, just click on the dots and over the top of your thing, and you can hit edit name, and then you can put your channel in there. But
no one's half the battle.
There you go.
All right, we learned something today.
There we go.
Go subscribe.
Yes, and mine.
There it is.
GG Sports Podcast.
Let's go. Let's go.
And if you're watching on a laptop, open in 2 different tabs and watch on both channels. No, Joseph. And also, by the way, subscribe to the Purple Code, who's the mothership that brought us all together, and all that other good stuff there. SK is at the game. Rick's at the game. Tyler Bean is at the game, amongst a host of thousands of other Vikings fans. And again, if you are going to go, or if you're out in the neighborhood tailgating, make it loud out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show the Giants center that we
Our Canadian friend didn't want to show up today. He said he was busy.
Well, he's a Bills fan. He's a closet Bills fan too, so he's watching the Bills.
I was hoping that he could jump on for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you know how he gets. He's
apparently Jamie lied to me. He said he was busy. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I was until I wasn't. I
decided to
prioritize you guys. So
you got your arm twisted in there. But having said all that, what do you think the Giants are going to do to try to slow down Justin Jefferson, aside from the obvious of get to Kirk Cousins? Do you think they're going to bracket him? You think they're going to try to emulate what the Packers did with Jair Alexander? What's funny about Jair Alexander trying to talk all that crap about how he shut down Justin Jefferson? He had at least one, if not 2,
over the top the whole time
in his back pocket the whole time. So you think the Giants will try to emulate some of that, or do you think that that's just not?
I think they can try. If I'm the coach or the Giants coaching staff and I paid attention to what happened last game, I would definitely make sure I'm worrying about TJ Hawkinson. So, I mean, they've seen what we've done with him already. They've got to be somewhat concerned of double or triple pressure or covering Justin Jefferson and letting TJ Hawkinson be in single coverage against anybody. So I think they're going to be a little bit in their heads on that. I don't think they're going to come out and just fully try to put 2 or 3 people on Justin Jefferson just because they know that might not work now.
Well, they can't do both, right? They can't blitz the shit out of us and then try to double coverage JJ the whole time with a safety.
And have someone else on TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson's a big mismatch, and he's already showed it against this team.
Yeah, I'm licking my chops, man. I'm licking my chops.
I don't know. I understand that you can't just say, oh yeah, Vikings are going to. I mean, again, it's the NFL playoffs, and nothing is ever guaranteed. I am just still baffled by not so much that most people are picking the Giants to win, but they're thinking it's going to be just this cakewalk, walk all over them, and that the Vikings have no chance in this game. I don't understand. I mean, again,
no way.
Jefferson went off against them. TJ Hawkinson went, and all of a sudden they're just going to have answers for both of those guys plus KJ and everything else. I don't get it. Shout out to George. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, me and SK had a little bit of fun last night, so very much appreciate you.
Yeah, sorry I didn't join. I was watching. I was doing some family time. I didn't realize you were on.
No, it was one of those where, Rick had said that they were going to go live from whatever place that they were. And it's just like, oh, all right. And then SK's like, hey, can you flip this on? I want to get on. I said, okay, sure. Whatever the case may be. So NFC Championship game was rigged. Well, here's the thing about that game. We'll just take a break from today. A lot of people hate the Saints. A lot of people hate Sean Payton and the bounty.
We just hate Sean Payton. Yeah. That's pretty much, it's hard to hate the Saints anymore now Sean Payton's gone.
But I will say this: you have to give some of your disdain to Chili and Bevel for not adjusting. They continuously ran 4 wide receivers and left Brett Favre on an island when they knew he was coming after him. Mm-hmm. And they knew that the refs had already called 2 roughing the passers and that they weren't going to call roughing the passer on every single time that Brett Favre got hit. Here's an idea. Leave a couple of backs or a tight end in once in a while and don't let them run roughshod over your 40-year-old quarterback. Mm-hmm. At some point, I get it. You don't want to let the other team dictate how you play, but you can make slight adjustments to say, all right, they're coming after him, and it might be dirty, it might be illegal, but we have to do something different instead of just leaving, decrepit Brett Favre out on an island. So for as much as people want to yell at the Saints and hate on the Saints and hate on, Sean Payton and Greg Williams and company, I also say, well, let's save a nail or two for our coaches for not adjusting. But that's just.
Hey, Jamie, I would like to introduce you to our New Orleans Saints apologist.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Man, I thought
throwing some shade at our own is really apologizing for the other team. But, I should come nothing to.
Didn't they get paid to hurt Brett Favre or something?
Appreciate you, George. I really do.
It's obviously we probably could have done more as far as the coaching staff goes, but still, it
was garbage either way.
We had so many turnovers that game. We were coming back. We were down double digits at some point in that game, weren't we?
No, it was never more than a 7-point swing either.
It was never more than 7.
Never more than 7. We had the Favre fumble, which technically was Adrian's at the end of the half. We had the Bernard Berrian fumble.
That's a game we pretty much changed the overtime rules forever after that game, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's a
so
George
we were
W.
the last
was in the
team.
Saints
it's like, all right,
box.
The Vikings lose, so now we'll finally change it.
So here's proof. It was a conspiracy. As George W. Bush was in the Saints owner's box.
There you go. Well, no, it was the Katrina thing. New Orleans did more than we did.
Yeah.
There's no question. Buffalo has all.
Darren Sharper was the main guy hitting.
He does not talk about that guy.
He got his just due.
Yeah,
his just due.
With that, let's see what else did I wanted to ask you. Okay, who's your X factor? Who's your X factor for this game, Jamie? I'll start with you.
My X factor, I just got to go with, I think, like you said, I think the interior line, that's the biggest part of the game. We need to figure that out if we want to win the game. And I definitely think that's how they win the game.
I think we want to win.
Yeah, I think we definitely want to win.
Yes, I think so.
I want us to win for sure.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. But I have to say Justin Jefferson, man. Last time he went over 100 yards. He's our best player. This is his first playoff game. He's the obvious choice, of course. It's nothing too special. Every single person will pick him. But I just think he's that guy who steps up under the lights, And I think he's the best player on your team in this playoff situation. You got to go Justin Jefferson. What do you guys think?
Dave?
I'm looking at pictures on my sports podcast. Go ahead.
I would say JJ's the obvious, but
Bandito sent me pictures.
I hope it's not of what Rap was suggesting the last 2 nights, but I digress.
No G-strings here.
Yes, thank you. No, nothing. Rap's channel can be fired with G-strings all we want. We're leaving this on. But I'm going to have to say Kirk Cousins. Again, everybody doubts the Minnesota Vikings in general, but they doubt Kirk Cousins specifically. And as I've said many times, I'm not a Kirk stan. I'm not a Kirk hater. I'm somewhere in the middle. And some of the narratives about Kirk have been overblown, and some of the narratives about Kirk have had a kernel of truth to them, and this is the opportunity. The only thing you ever want in life is an opportunity to show the world what you got, and this is an opportunity. This is not the noon game. It's not a night game. It's not Monday night, but it's not a noon game. And for all the talk about Kirk Cousins' record about non-noon games, funny, we haven't heard much about Daniel Jones's record at non-noon games either, but this is an opportunity. You're at home. You won your division. You won 13 games. Go out there. Not just win, but, blow the doors off of somebody, show the world what you got and say, hey, you know what? I'm not just some, also ran quarterback here. And our team is not just some lucky team. Go out there, show the world that, hey, you know what? It hasn't been just a fluke. So I'm going to say Kirk Cousins offensively.
Yeah. He has the most to prove. There's no question about it. This game, who knows after today what everybody's feelings is about Kirk Cousins. And that's what this game kind of, it has that kind of impact, I think, for him. So if he comes out and he has the game that all of us are hoping for, especially after this season he has, I do think you're right that ultimately he would end up being the X factor there. Because all this shit talking from the media, everything, just this whole year. Kirk Cousins has dealt with it so great this entire year and has stepped up in that spot. Like, he's got to know what everybody's saying up until this game. I know for a fact everybody does. I mean, what KJ popped on, what's it called? McAfee show, I think this week, talking about it. I believe he did.
Huh?
Yeah, he did. He popped on there. I was kind of surprised. And then he was talking about Kirk Cousins because everybody's, the whole media thing. And I don't know. I think we're a team. I think Kirk Cousins is proving like it's not a good year for him to have a chip on his shoulder. And that's what other teams are doing for us. And he's proved that to us. And that's what I need to see from him is in this game, for my own like opinion about him, is to kind of see him and him come in and be the kind of the X factor. Because if this is a game he plays bad, then, I might have to go back to like, I'm a little sketched out about Kirk Cousins. But I don't want it to happen that way.
Right.
I don't want it. I want him to come in here and show off, that he has this ability and that he's kind of got past that little mental hurdle and, prove a lot of these doubters wrong. And I think there's a good chance that we see that from him.
I'm going to back out and come back in, guys. Keep talking.
All right, that's fine. Well, to talk about that offensive line a little bit, according to both Chris Thompson and Andrew Kramer, it looks like Oli Udoh is lining up at right tackle with the Vikings in pregame warmups with the first team. Blake Randall's active, wearing a knee brace, so it looks like Oli Udoh is going to be the starting right tackle, as we talked about.
He's been playing the last 2 games. I think you shouldn't switch out a position like that going into playoffs.
I agree. So. Well, while we're waiting for Dave to come back, obligatory, thanks everybody for joining. If you don't auto subscribe to Purple and Gold for Days, please do so if you're watching on Dave's channel.
We're 14 minutes away.
14 minutes from 3:30, but these games always go off about around 3:40 to make sure that the playoffs don't overlap with each other. But if you're watching on my channel or Dave's channel, please go to GG Sports Podcast. They are at 637 subscribers. Let's get them up to 650 by the end of the day today.
Let's do it.
I'm at 395. If you haven't subscribed to me, give me 5 more. Let me get to 400 today. Okay, it's playoff.
Give me the 2,000 by the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't even know. You're outpacing both of us. So
1,470. I broke that today. But hey, I got Bandito here. I got you, man.
What did Bandito send you?
Here we go. I dig the kicks, man, and the cheese grater.
Cheese grater.
That's a cheese grater there.
Cheese grater.
That's Turco change.
That's F the Packers. You see that FTP?
I was wondering like
F the Packers.
F the Packers.
That's
beautiful, man.
There you go.
That's your time in the sun, man. And I got one more for you.
We're gonna see Kirko.
Here we go.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
Is that official Gritty wear? He's even got the visor. He's even got the visor. Custom bling, he says.
Love that. Grandma Gritty would love that.
Who's your jeweler, man? Who's your jeweler for this one? Who's your jeweler?
Hey, shout out
NFC North champ. His shoes say NFC North champs on them.
Do that?
That's insane.
Oh, yes. Oh, the hat
says NFC North champs. That's awesome, man, dude. Super Bowl champs next. Let's go.
Let's go.
Shout out to In the Zone. Thanks for joining us. Very much appreciated. If you don't already subscribe to GG Sports, go ahead and hit the subscribe button there. Hit the like button on both Minnesota Sports Talk and Purple and Gold for Days, if you could, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, Dave, hopefully you've been starring off those predictions here, so we'll get some scores up here in a minute. I don't know if you've been saving them there. But having said all that, I think we'll probably wrap in about 7 more minutes here to give people some time to get their food and everything set up. So we'll go to about 3:25, so about 7 more minutes here.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what's your final score prediction? Gigi, we'll start with you.
So what was it going with? I think that we're going to have a fantastic game. My score prediction is 26-14. I just think we need that kind of game. We need that momentum to kind of have hope going into the rest of the playoffs. So I'm just going to hope for that. So yeah, I think we're going to have a good game. All that media shit talking, I think we're going to make media eat their words finally. Well, we've done it all season, but in a big way this time. So I'm liking that. 26-14, double digits. What do you guys think?
I got the same actual prediction as Jim NFL 7 here. I have 27-20, but I felt it was going to be comfortable the whole game. It's just going to be one of those late scores that gets it to make it look like it was closer than it was. But yeah, I was saying 27-20 today, or the past few shows.
Well, I've said it since Monday. I'm going to go 35-21, and I'm going to say that
I like his better.
His or mine?
The Saints fan better.
Okay.
Oh, Justin Day. No, I'm kidding, man.
I know.
I like yours better. I like your score better, man.
Well, you said that right after you said his, but in all seriousness, I think this is the time. I think this is the time to put it all together offensively and defensively. I said it's going to be 35-14 and the Giants score a meaningless touchdown at the end to make it look closer. This, if not now, when? If not now, when? If you don't come out there and show the world, hey, this hasn't just been a fluke. This isn't just us been getting lucky. We're finally going to put it all together, going to show some new wrinkles. This has to be it. And if it's not, then we got a lot of talking coming up one way or the other the next week on our shows. And if it's not one, I mean, listen, if they walk off again against the Giants, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with a W no matter what. But
yeah.
Hey, we got free room and board. We got free room and board if we want to come to a Raiders or Niners game, man.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Thanks, George.
All right.
Talk to my boss. Let me get some vacation because I'll need.
Hey, Jamie, tell us what you got coming up, man. What do you got? We got a show on Wednesday. I'll do that.
Yeah, we have our live show is going to be. Where is it? Our live show is going to be tomorrow, actually, at 6 p.m. Central. I'm an hour behind on Mountain Time, so I always get confused. 6 p.m. Central. We're going live to talk about this game, which is hopefully a victory. Should definitely be a victory, and if it's not, well, then we got some steam to release. And then also
on air production.
Oh, Jesus. 34-31.
Yeah, Buffalo ain't put Miami away yet. Miami just scored.
That's insane.
It's a 3-point game with 9 minutes left.
We are also giving away this Kirk Cousins rookie card on that. So
when did Cousins wear 12?
It's Topps Platinum. It's a Topps Platinum.
Topps Platinum is hollow. Everything. It's a pretty cool card. Hopefully Kirk, lives up to this card today. I think he will. So
he probably wore that in preseason.
Press the bell on our channel to get notification when this stream goes. We give it away right on our show. So yeah.
I think I'm gonna start doing that too. I think I might start doing that on our Wednesday show too. I got some old Viking rookie cards and stuff I could give out.
Let's give away some stuff, man.
So you said you're on at 6 tomorrow, 6 Central.
Yep. 6 Central.
Then Wednesday on the Skull Experience, we're bringing one of the guys from 10,000 Takes. I'm not sure if it's the guy that does the Kirk Cousins impression. I don't know if you guys seen that guy, but I'm trying to find out. Oh, he sent me a picture. Maybe it is the guy. Hang on. I'll tell you if it's the guy. But yeah, go ahead, man. Keep talking.
So 6 tomorrow, and what time on Wednesday?
Oh, okay. So yeah, 6 tomorrow for that. We do the Skull Experience with Dave. That's going to be at 7 Central on Wednesday. So yeah, and then we're hopefully. We also have a pregame video coming out next Friday, talking about the 49ers, a team that hopefully we get after their inexperienced quarterback.
There you go.
And then continue talking about it every single week until we win a Super Bowl.
He didn't give me a picture. He just gave me a thumbnail of their logo.
No. All right.
Bullshit.
Well, on Purple and Gold for Days, I'll be on with Mike and Kyla simulcast on the Purple Code tomorrow at 6:30. We'll be running down this game, hopefully previewing next week's game as well. We'll go from about 6:30 to about 7:20, right into the Monday Night Football game of Dallas and Tampa Bay. Dave and I will be on Tuesday at 6:30 in our normal time for Under the Lights. Dave hasn't told me yet who we're getting. We
are trying to get Sally. I will know Monday if she can come on. Didn't I say somebody who didn't I text you somebody?
You sent me, you sent Sal maybe, but I think I got lost with all
who it was. It was going to be 10,000, but they could come on Wednesday. I was going to try to get Thor. He didn't respond.
Oh, okay. We'll have somebody on.
I'll try to ask. I'm going to try to have somebody on. I think about bringing I also could try to get the guy that won the plane ticket.
The plane
tickets because I told him to come back. I might be able to get him on the show.
Okay.
When he comes back. Who else? I got Luke Braun saying he's going to show up next week. So maybe we have him on. I do have a show Monday. I'm bringing on a guy that started a YouTube channel. He does a lot of video editing stuff, Vikings related. I'm going to do a pop-up show on Monday. and I'll do another probably pop-up show on Thursday. So Luke Braun may be on that Thursday show, or he may be on our Tuesday show. I don't know yet. So we'll see.
Bottom line is tomorrow I'll be on at 6:30. So start off with Casey and his gang on the GG Sports Talk at 6. Flip over to Purple and Gold for days after that. Tuesday, Dave and I, even if it's just Dave and I talking about it, that'll be enough. But hopefully we'll get those guests lined up. Wednesday, you guys got your shows. Thursday, not for certain yet, but I might do a show with Vikings Uncensored, who we had on Under the Lights last Tuesday. He and I might get together to try to do something to wrap this today's game, as well as look forward to next week. But bottom line is, if you don't already subscribe to the 3 channel, well, go ahead and take that comment down. Get the channels up there one more time, Dave.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
Forward, let's go.
Subscribe to all the channels, hit the notification and the bell so that anytime one of our shows goes live, you'll get a notification on there to be able to go it. So I guess final thoughts for me again. I got 35-21.
I agree, George. I
appreciate you, George. Yes, very much so.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Case, anything last for you?
Not really, man.
I keep saying GG. I'm sorry, James.
Come
it's
Bob.
all good. It's all.
I called him Jesse. I called him Jesse once, and he says it's Kate.
No worries.
I
26-14. This is a game we should absolutely win. We have far better talent, in my opinion. So let's just go out and do that and get ready for the 49ers. I'm already looking forward to that. And if it's not the case, then we've got some fire to release. So
all right, it's gonna be kickoff soon. Let's get you guys.
Well, actually, though, let's throw this out here. We're still gonna go.
Oh, never mind.
All that.
We're not done yet.
Well, the NFL just announced that with the Dolphins and Bills game being as tight as it is, and they still got almost 10 minutes left, that the Vikings
they're
game
not going to get away from that, are they?
Yeah, the Vikings game has already been pushed back to 3:50. So instead of having now 14 minutes to get your food and snacks, now you got 24 minutes to get your food and snacks there. So yeah, kickoff's been pushed to 4:50 Eastern time. That just came across the old ticker wire, as they say.
All right, what are we talking about then?
I don't know. We had this nice outro.
We're doing this long say goodbye, and we probably lost like 10 people off.
Yeah,
It's all good. It's all good. It's just Vikings
George Blunt, take over, man. George Blunt, take over.
Send George the link, and he can get on here for a minute.
Hey, anybody want to join real quick? I'll send a link.
Let's do that. Anyone want to join? Come on.
We'll turn this into event line.
Hey, can you put it in the chat?
You don't even have to do video. You don't have to do video, I don't think.
Can you put
it in the chat?
Yeah, just put it in. I think you can. Yeah.
I'm asking you to do it because I'm slow as shit.
No, okay. This is your streamer, so I don't have. This ain't the TPC one, so I don't have. Only you can.
Well, you've been chatting this whole time. I've seen you in the chat like 20 times.
It will only go on my channel though, because my chats only go on mine because I don't have access. Admin access.
We don't want your people. We don't want your people on here. Do we? No, I'm kidding.
You know what?
Hey, I'll take your people. I'll take anybody.
Exactly.
Just come to GG Sports Podcast. Subscribe.
Yeah, switch over. Go to GG. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. You guys do all the talking. I can't do 3 things at once, so I'm gonna put in the chat, see if we can get a guest to jump on.
All right, so I put it in mine. You can put it in the master one here. Well, let's see here.
We hit pretty much everything, I think. Yeah, so you said.
All right, fine. We'll go through this. What did you think of the San Diego? What did you think of the Chargers Jaguars game? I mean, obviously it was a historic comeback, but give us your quick thoughts then on the games yesterday.
Man. Obviously, it sucked to see Justin Herbert's second year. He came into this league as like the next Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning type of hype. And we did see that. We kind of seen it earlier in the season. He dropped off in the middle, and in the end, he kind of like, now you're seeing what he's capable of. And then for him to come out and have 4 interceptions, which weren't all his fault, but definitely some were. And they're down 27-0. I was funny because when I saw 27-0, I'm just thinking in my head, like, that's possible. Like, we've seen better. We've seen more than that. Obviously, I didn't think they would ever be able to do it. So that's crazy that we've actually seen the biggest comeback in NFL history during a regular season game and the playoff game in the same season. So that's a pretty wild stat right there. Mm-hmm. But man, to see Trevor Lawrence come back like that, especially like you're young, second year in the NFL, and you start 27-0 and you're able, and 4 interceptions, you're able to bounce back to win the game. I was really impressed by that. I did kind of feel, like I said, I like Justin Herbert, and something feels like everything's going wrong there besides him. To me, maybe I just biased. I don't know why. I don't like him that much, I guess. But yeah, what do you think of that game? And then what was the other game yesterday?
That would be 49ers,
Seattle. Yeah, that was a tight game at first. I was, pretty hopeful that Seattle pulls this out, and then 49ers did exactly what we thought they'd do, and they look like the team that we thought they are, and they came in there and kicked their butt.
Well, again, not looking ahead too much because as fans we get to do that, but the players don't. You're going to have to play a perfect game to beat San Francisco, not because Brock Purdy is like this ultimate end-all be-all, but when you can play behind an offensive line like that, and you can have a coach that knows how to scheme guys open, you've almost got to play a perfect game. You almost have to score on 80. You have to score touchdowns on almost 75% of your possessions. You have to not turn the ball over. You can't get sacked and get into second and third and long because they'll just come after you again. So Seattle did enough in the first half to say, oh, look at that. Now, they really shouldn't have gotten that field goal at the end to take the lead, but for some stupidity and a dumb penalty on one of their players to get him in the field goal range. But Seattle was with them for the first 2.5 quarters. They were up, they held them to a field goal coming out of the half, and they were down by 6 points. Had the ball in the red zone, and then Geno Smith gets strip sacked, and that was Katie bar the door. You knew right then and there that they at minimum needed to kick a field goal to get within 3, if not score a touchdown to take the lead. And from that point on, they got some garbage touchdown at the end of the game. But it was an absolute onslaught in the fourth quarter by the 49ers. You got to play a perfect game against that team to beat them, particularly at home. I've said this since about week 4 or 5 that San Francisco is the team that I said I want to face them less than I want to face Philly and Philly again.
Yeah, no.
Especially that CMC matchup for us.
That CMC trade, that was huge for them. That's
guys in the chat.
We got Hawkinson, but Christian McCaffrey for them, that changed that entire offense.
Hey guys in the chat, we put the StreamYard in there if you want to join.
I could probably say Herbert is overrated at this time because obviously he just made his first playoff game and allowed the biggest comeback in playoff history.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Oh, Jamie's been talking over me. I was just like, hey, if you guys can join the chat, we put the link in this of the StreamYard zone. Come make your debut on our show, man, and
tell
plug
us
your
why
show.
You think Herbert's overrated.
Yeah. Well, and he's also not a big fan of Cousins, so come on over and chat and Hoagland, man, come on. Raymond Hoagland, come on. George Blunt, one of you guys jump on the show, man. We'll bring you on.
Rhino, if you're still here, I'd love to say hello to you as well. But anybody.
Oh, is he? Was he in here? I didn't.
No, different Ryan.
Different Rhino.
Yeah. No, but I'll say this about Herbert. I mean, his coach is
talented, man.
I think he's a very, very talented guy. I think he's on a team that is undisciplined.
We got somebody in the zones. In the zone.
Let's go in the zone.
Guys, it's being taken over by in the zone. Here we go. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's going on?
I think Rap's gonna be jealous that you showed up on my show before his.
What up, dog?
Yeah, what's going on?
Man, tell him how y'all doing.
We good.
Doing pretty good, man.
To get this W.
Yeah, you know that. Do the Super Bowl run real quick.
Right,
well, hey, I got your message up here. Man, Herbert is overrated. Go ahead. Tell us how he's overrated.
Yeah. What have he done in NFL yet? But throw for a whole bunch of yards.
Yeah, I mean that is a good point.
What have he done?
His first playoff game, but I think what stuck in my head is the last game of last season. They ended up not making playoffs, but he brought against Oakland Raiders. The way he brought that team back in that game was crazy. Like he put the Chargers on his back in that game, so I was really impressed with that, especially at his age. But as far as wins and stuff goes, I mean, you're 100% right. And we can say the same thing about our quarterback, but hopefully we don't say that after this year.
But Kirk Cousins never had the hype that
Justin Herbert. No, you're right on that. You're right on that 100%.
Like I like Herbert though, but I have to think the meeting everybody just overhyped him for some reason.
He did absolutely nothing against us last year. That's so, and I've only seen him play like one time. So, and it was against us.
Well, that's what it's pretty much at the times I've seen him play. I felt
so I'm an expert,
but still, I mean, there's no question. Like I think like Burrow is definitely above him. Like the fact that people are putting him above Burrow, probably up until this point, at least some people.
No,
that's kind of crazy at this point for sure.
Yeah, no, he's not ahead of Burrow.
No, he's not.
But they wanted him to be. Some people wanted him to be up until probably some point in this year, I guess. Yeah.
So do y'all think Minnesota come out with a new game plan today?
I think they're going to be utilizing some of what they have going on, but I do think that they're going to have to make some adjustments due to the fact that they've had to shuffle their offensive line. We talked about that a little bit there. So I think they're going to have to do a little bit more chipping. They're going to have to be aware of the Giants. You know, they blitz almost more than anybody else in the NFL. We saw how much they blitzed Kirk Cousins last time. Cousins was able to do a lot against that blitz. But again, O'Neal was in the game at that point, not Oliudo. So I think the Giants are going to do a lot of what they usually do. And I think that the Vikings' biggest key, I mean, again, we talked about Cousins, talked about Justin Jefferson, Hawkinson, the rest of the pass catchers. It is all based on what this offensive line can do. They can keep Kirk Cousins upright. Kirk Cousins will pick this Giants defense apart. If that pass rush gets to him, well, it could be a long day. So I think our game plan should be designed on, you know, instead of doing 5 to 7 step drops, just do some quick hitters, some slants, some shallow crosses, whatever the case may be, to just say, hey, we're not going to allow this Giants defensive line to get after Kirk Cousins. Just do what teams do when you know that your offensive line is just mediocre, is to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. Take 5 yards on first down and be content with it. When it's 3rd and 1, don't try and throw a 25, 30-yard bomb down the field. Take the first down. Run the ball. Toss sweeps to Dalvin Cook instead of running him up the middle all the time. So, no, I think you're absolutely right.
Hey, but before I go, though, how y'all feel about Minnesota Vikings hiring Terrell Austin for the new defense coordinator?
I could see maybe.
I can hear. Who did he say?
Detroit before.
Honestly, I haven't thought too much about. I'm thinking about right now. I'm not thinking about, you know, the offseason. I'm not thinking about next year as of yet. So I haven't even thought about. Hey, if the San Diego coach gets fired, I'll take him as our defensive coordinator. I think he's a better coordinator than he is a coach.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Chargers.
Something needs to change there, I think.
I'll say this: unless the Vikings win the Super Bowl, Ed Donato should not and will not be back as the defensive coordinator next year. Say it like that.
I do think if in this game, if there was a change of game plan, I think compared to the last time against Giants, I think it will be in the run game. I do think in this one, we'll see a little bit more running. I think we had I think Dalvin Cook only had 9 rushes the last time 14, we played the Giants.
But close enough,
oh, he did have 14?
Yeah.
I think we see a little bit more out of that this game. And I think that might be the difference of game plan, especially against 2 head coaches who are brand new to this league. So
if you guys look in the chat, I put the Zone's link to his YouTube channel. Make sure you go subscribe to the Zone.
Yeah, go subscribe.
Yes.
Oh, y'all appreciate that. I appreciate y'all bringing on y'all channel too.
Absolutely, man.
What's your score prediction, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's your prediction at?
Man, 31-20.
I like it.
All right, I'll take that.
That's close.
Better than mine.
I see y'all later on tonight.
All right,
sounds like a plan.
Have fun, man.
Let's go,
brother.
All right.
Well, there are 4.5 minutes left. Well, 4 minutes left in this. Miami's got the ball. It is 34-31. Buffalo is on top.
Dude,
you know what? I think this would be probably about as good a time to any to just wrap this. We'll watch the last parts of this game and
get ready for the Vikes.
Here. Any other final thoughts here, gentlemen?
Nope. Let's just go and win this game. Simple as that. Keep it going.
I'm ready for a W.
It's been a great season. Let's not see this end.
Yes, no kidding. You are absolutely right. All right, so for the record, Miami has, they got 3rd and 10 at their own 14, so they got some work to do. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us. I don't even know what the high number of concurrent viewers was, but it was a blast. We had more people in the chat than either day and I have ever had.
I know. That was a good one.
Our individuals. I think we just blew off the record of what we had for, I think it was Chuck Foreman.
Well, I'm counting that on my record, too. I don't know how much you guys had, but I'll count it on my record.
I don't know either. I think it's like 22, but that's all right.
It. That's it.
That's all right. So, obviously, thanks again for joining us, everybody. Skol Vikes. Keep it tuned to take the comment down, Dave. Take the comment down.
All right, man. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not caught up.
No, just take it down so we get our channels back.
Waiting to gauge the market. All right, there we go.
Yeah. So, of course, now I
comment down production value.
Yes, there you go. But if you don't already subscribe to Minnesota Sports Talk, Purple and Gold for Days, or GG Sports, please comment to those. Hit the like button on these videos so that the aggregator will pump this out. So after this, yes, exactly. The aggregator, the algorithm, the gonculator, whatever the case may be. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Who's McCall?
The whatchamadigger, yes. Jamie, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you, man. Sure. And we will do this again. Keep it tuned to all the channels. We'll be putting out some content one way or the other. Skol Vikes, let's win this game.
Skol Vikes.